And now it's time to maybe piss a few people off. I enjoy doing these videos. They're fun. And so it seems like it's time to do yet another political kitchen vlog again. But there has been so much reported in the news lately. At times, I feel overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed by it all. And then, besides the news reports, I'm reading the books that try to make sense of it all. So I thought how I'd start off with is let's cover some basics first. A few things as this plane goes overhead. One, I'm pleased with the impeachment inquiry. As I said in past vlogs, some people don't know the difference between an inquiry and articles of impeachment. An inquiry is just that. It's the fact-finding bit. Then, when the House of Representatives believes they have enough grounds for impeachment, they vote on articles of impeachment. But that doesn't remove the president from office. It's just a way of saying that he is alleged to be guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors. The next step then is to turn it over to the Senate for a trial. That's conducted by the senators. If 2/3 of the senators vote against the president, he is removed from office. A 2/3 majority will never happen. Slightly more than half the senators are Republicans, like Trump. And what are they known for? They put party over people. Just ask McConnell. He'll tell you, party over people. However, even though they don't vote to remove Trump from office, he will go down in history as an impeached president. That asterisk will always be included with his name. It's a black mark on his record, an impeached president. Okay. 2, how the impeachment is being conducted. Now, back when Hillary Clinton was being investigated for the Benghazi incident, the first step was fact-finding in private. In private, Republican Trey Gowdy stood before the cameras and explained why it was necessary and proper to do it that way. It was so that those who might be questioned later wouldn't hear previous testimonies and adjust their own responses to agree. Those rules were set down by the Republicans. For them to complain now about the Democrats' investigation, which is following those same Republican rules, is simply shameless hypocrisy. They're not being excluded from the investigation. I believe 47 Republicans have access to the inquiry. So if those Republicans who protested want to know what's going on inside the closed-door inquiry, can't they ask their fellow Republicans, right? And to stage their silly protest, storming the security room in which the secure room in which the investigation was being conducted, and staging a sit-in, ordering pizza besides, that was just plain childishness. I'm not going to go any further into that. That's my comment. Okay. 3, do I want to see the president removed from office? Yes, but not by articles of impeachment. Let the House of Representatives proceed, but let the voters decide a year from now in the 2020 election. The public hearings, as the impeachment proceeds, will make for some entertaining television. I'm looking forward to those. Those hearings are supposed to start maybe in mid or late November, the way Congress does things. Maybe we can hope to see it by the beginning or early December. But for me, that works. That works for me because the college football season will be coming to an end. And I don't watch basketball or ice hockey. So good political drama on TV might be enough to get me through the winter. Another reason why I want to see the president gone is because of how he has changed some Americans. Not all of us, but some. People used to be respectful, right? But the president's daily attacks of the press, government employees, the FBI, the CIA, and even members of his own administration seems to have made people believe it is their God-given right to be cruel and disrespectful toward others. I don't like that. And I see it all the time in the comments on my videos, especially on my Mobile Home Gourmet channel. I ban the trolls from my channel. Every week I ban at least one from that channel. And what happens when someone is banned? They can still write comments. They can see the comments that they've written, but nobody else, including me, will ever see them. Now, I'm okay with people disagreeing. People can disagree. I respect that. But there is no reason to be insulting and vulgar about it. That's just my opinion. All right? Now, as for how the investigation has been proceeding so far, let's face it. I mean, some people don't want to accept it, but Trump is just as guilty of abuse of power as Bill Clinton was guilty of getting a Hummer and then lying about it. I mean, in Bill's case, though, there was no quid pro quo, as far as I know. Trump is clearly guilty of seeking the Ukraine president's help in digging up dirt against his possible 2020 political rival, Biden, in exchange for monetary assistance to help them defend themselves against Russian aggression. That's quid pro quo. He even said it himself. He admitted it. I see the clips on TV where he's out in front of the White House and they're asking him questions. Yeah, I did it. So what? Right? And then the president said, and he admitted this, that he asked the Chinese for dirt on Joe Biden's son, Hunter. And that was confirmed in writing by, I call him the Pillsbury Doughboy, some guy whose last name is Pillsbury, asking a foreign power to interfere in a USA election is against the law. It's a crime. Right? That impeachment right there. There's your crimes and misdemeanor. And that also makes me wonder, what happened to the Russians helping Trump win the next election? Aren't they any good anymore? Or is it because too many of their secret tactics were discovered and are now blocked? Perhaps we'll never know. All right? Of course, now the Republicans, under the director of, I call him Chief Trump Sycophant, William Barr, are seeking criminal charges against those who investigated the Russian interference in the 2016 election. It's a clear case. If you can't kill the message, kill a messenger. Which, by the way, still proves that Trump is not, quote unquote, legitimately elected. He's not the legitimately elected president of the United States. He's the president. We're stuck with him. But he wasn't legitimately elected because there was Russian interference that got him elected. Okay, and he himself said many times during the 2016 campaign, "It's all rigged, folks." Those were his words. Turns out he was right. I went to a news discussion group yesterday. We meet every other week to talk about events in the news. And someone asked me, he complained about the Republicans dodging questions about the quid pro quo issue. And he said to me, if I asked you, Dennis, was there a quid pro quo, how would you respond? I answered, forget about the quid pro quo. We should be investigating Hillary Clinton's email server. He laughed. Well, is that dodgy enough for you? That's what's going on. Now, okay, I will say this. It is good news that the head of ISIS was killed at Baghdadi. I call him Big Bad Baghdad Daddy. Baghdadi. But does that make Trump better than Obama, which he wants to be? No, not by a mile. Osama bin Laden was behind the worst terrorist attack in U.S. history. Thousands of people lost their lives. I was distressed by it. I had to go see a therapist to get me through that period because I was so distressed by it. What did this ISIS guy, Big Bad Baghdad Daddy, do by comparison? Obama will always be the hero that Trump can only wish he could be. I know some of you won't agree with that, but you'll never change in my mind, right? Okay. Enough already. I think I've pissed off enough people for one kitchen vlog video. I do these for fun, not because I think having an opinion makes me an authority. It doesn't. If you want authoritative opinions, read the Washington Post or the New York Times, or if it's your bent, Fox or Breitbart. It's hard to say that with a straight face. And if you want to write nasty comments down below, feel free. And if you want to give me a thumbs down, do that, please, because all those things are interactions, they're engagements, and that helps my channel. It raises me up as far as YouTube. And what I typically do is when I do a video that I think might get a lot of nasty comments, I set the video to comments by approval only. I see every comment that someone writes before it goes public. And if I don't like it, I delete it. If it's really nasty, I ban that person. As I said, a banned person, they can write comments and they can see them, but nobody, including me, ever will. So, and once I delete a comment, it's gone. No one has ever seen it but me. Not that I don't appreciate some people having a different point of view. I can respect, as I said, I can respect differences. I have my own. I know this guy, and we're kind of decent friends. And he says to me, he says, Dennis, I am a Republican. I'm a Republican. And he knows I'm much more liberal than conservative. I'm actually registered as a Democrat. He said, but Dennis, I feel like I can talk to you. And it's true. He can. Even though he's a staunch Republican, he knows he can talk to me because I can respect people. I was brought up that way. People today, I think they've lost their talent or their ability to respect others, and that's sad. I think that's sad, and I blame the president a lot for some of the statements he makes, calling people scum or calling them traitors or guilty of treason. The list goes on and on. Well, you know, if you follow the news, you've seen his tweets, you've seen the things that he's said. So anyways, thanks for watching, and see ya.